Hey everyone. So I wanted to just hop on here and sorry y'all, I'm out of breath. Y'all know I only got one good working leg right now, so and foot. I'm hopping all over sometimes and I'm exhausted because I just got up the steps and then hopped to close the door. Anyway, I wanted to hop on here and give y'all some tips for going into 2022. All right, so how do we go into 2022 strong and reset and focused and determined? So, I just want to share with you all now there's no set way to go into a new year, to refocus yourself, to recenter yourself. Everyone has to find their own method and technique. But I'm going to share with you all what I typically do. So, first thing I do before going out of the year before, so in this case, before leaving out of 2021, what I tried to make sure I do was take care of all of my medical stuff. Hence, I paid my deductible this year, so I got my surgery done on my foot, and I'll get the other one done in the beginning of or sometime next year. But anyway, um, that's part of it is take care of your medical before the year ends, right? So all your appointments, dental, vision, all of that. I did miss my vision and my second dental, just due to time conflicts and stuff. So that's something I have to address in the beginning of the year, right? But take care of your medical, right? Because your health is the first thing on your checklist that you need to make sure is in good form, and that's not just your physical health, but your mental health and your emotional health. So the second part, your mental health. If you know you're struggling with some things, seek some kind of way to process those things. It doesn't always mean that you have to go out and go to counseling because everyone may not have insurance, may not be able to afford it, but get yourself some self-help books or something just to help your mind become clear. And if you're my Facebook friend, check out some of the books that my friends have referred to me for the year, because I did ask for a list of books. See, things are coming together, y'all. So yeah, get yourself some self-help books. Get yourself a book about something that you really have interest in, that you want to accomplish this year, things of that sort, to start your mental process, right? Now the emotional part is not hiding things that are happening within you and going to seek those things out and confronting those things. And that may mean certain people who have hurt you. You may just want to make peace with that situation or leave that situation behind completely and give yourself a new reset on that button. The other thing may not be necessarily with an individual, but it may be just some emotional things that you're going through or stress. You may want to think about ways that you're going to make sure that you don't become this level of stress by this time next year, right? So you might start putting steps in place to get yourself out of those stressful situations. And the other emotional side may be your relationship or whatever. Get things clearly defined. If you can't get them clearly defined, at least get them to a place where you can be happy and settled mentally and emotionally. I personally deal with this, like, relationships are not my strong suits, but I'm really, really good with work and personal relationships with friends and family, but love relationships are not my strong suit. And so I know that about myself. So I try to work on those things in my life. And so part of that is identifying who you are and understanding those things and what you need emotionally. That doesn't mean that everything's going to be perfect. I'm not saying that you can make it a perfect year. I'm saying you can make it a livable, exciting, beautiful, peaceful year. This year for me in 2021 has been overall a very peaceful year. And it's just because I've come to terms with so many different things in my life and kind of had a realistic view this year. Um, and I hope you all are doing the same thing. And I hope that it's working out for you. And if it is, continue forward on that path and that journey. When you let go of hurt and when you let go of anger and jealousy and it should have been, it could have been, all those things, you'll feel all of these pieces just come together as one whole. Okay, so that is the emotional side of your health. So we've talked about your mental, your emotional, and your physical. Now, the other part of your health I want to talk about is the financial side of your health. And how do you take care of the financial side of your health? One, get you some applications like mint.com or whatever you can use, Equifax, whatever. I don't really like going into the credit report portions as much as I like to use apps that actually track my here and now. You can, apps like mint.com can track your debt, it can track your properties, it can track your investments, It can track your current bank accounts, things of that sort, so that you can know what you have, how you've been spending. You can look over the year and see how you've been spending and determine, does that work for your finances, or could you have done something a little different? Like, I know I spent a lot of money this year, but I also know that the reason why I spent a lot of money is because I bought a new house this year. I fixed up a property this year. I bought new furniture for my home. I also did some repair, a lot of repairs, which I'm still doing with bathroom models in my home. Like, you have to consider all those factors too, and the long run, the long term effects of those. Of, yes, now I see that it is a lot of money that I spent this year, but the long term wise, I know that my bathrooms will look good for another 10, 20 years. Those type of things. I know my property value is going to go up because of all of the work that I've been putting in my house. So take those things into consideration and don't stress yourself over money. But you also want to be wise when it comes to that. You want to look at your budget, if you do a budget, and see where you're spending the most at. Those apps like mint.com and they have other ones, because I used to use another one. I just can't think of the name of it right now. But they actually do help you to track your budget. They help you to figure out where you're spending money, how you can actually budget per month for certain areas of how you want to spend your money, and see where you're going over the budget, things of that sort, so that you can manage those things. Financial freedom is the best thing that you can give yourself. And speaking of financial freedom, y'all, so what I did, as I said, every year I go and I look over all of my finances. I look at where I'm at. I look at where I could be. I look at where I want to be. And then I analyze things. Like, I was looking and I was like, okay, I got my 401k over here, which has, a nice amount of money in it. But then I also have this stock money over here. I couldn't figure out what it was at first. I was like, what is this blank, blank thousands of dollars sitting here? And and I said, you know what? Let me investigate more. So I went to my Fidelity and I checked it out and I figured out what it was. It was my stock for my job. And I was like, you know what? That's one thing that I am getting plenty of until I leave my job. It'll continue to progress to more stock. So I don't need to necessarily hold on to all of this stock. I'll keep some because you always want a little safety net. But I don't need to hold on to all of this as much as I need to get rid of debt, right? So I said, you know what? One goal that I had for myself before I turned 40 was to, and I'm turning 37 next month, y'all. So I'm not there yet, but I'm just planning and prepping. So one goal I had was I want to be financially free, meaning like no more student loans or debt or anything like that, right? And part of that is figuring out a method to get rid of that. And y'all know how student loans are when you pay out of state fees, when you've had them for a long time and they accumulate interest. Even when you finally get them dropped down low interest, they still are a bit. And you don't realize just how much of your income per month that you're spending on student loans, private loans, whatever the case may be. So with that said, I decided to take out my not 401k, my stock, take out some of my stock and pay off my student loans. So that's my goal before this year ends, is to pay off majority of my student loans. Actually, probably all of them. But the point is um, that's my goal, to do that, right? So I called my investment company today and had them help me out. So set things up so that I can do that. So that is part of it, is make sure that your finances are where you want them to be walking into the new year, so that you have a strategy and a plan to make this a successful financial year for yourself. So that's my talk on health tips for the year, right? So you want to have your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, and your financial health in order, right? So those are my top four when it comes to your health. And then the physical health, I want to swing back around to that again because I don't feel like I went through that enough. But one thing I decided this year that I'm going to do is, starting the beginning of the year, I'm going to cleanse. And the reason I'm going to cleanse is not because I think cleansings are amazing and that it's going to work and so forth. I've been looking at myself and thinking to myself, like, man, this is not real. All this chunky cheeks and chunky and big body, and like, this isn't me, you know? But that aside, like, even the weight part aside, like, I've just been like looking like, man, I'm eating a lot of sweets. I'm eating a lot of sugars. I'm literally getting headaches and craving sugar. So I have to do something to cut that. And that means that I probably need to do a detox for a week or 2 weeks or something like that, to kind of get my body back reset. So what does that mean? I'm going to cut certain things that I do, and things that I don't need to be putting in my body, and cutting back on sugars, and all of that for at least 15 days is my goal. just to get my body cleansed from the toxins and just the negative things and negative energy and negative auras of 2020, 2021 that have been placed in my environment, in my realm of energy, so that I'm clean, that I'm positive, and that I'm walking into this new year with a clean mind, a clean body, and a clean spirit. Okay. And part of that too, y'all know I'm not religious at all, but I'm very connected to the universe, is what I like to call it. And I do, in a sense of, I say pray for people who are religious so that they understand it. But I talk with the universe about life, about things that are going on, about where the picture is going, all so forth. And so with all of that said, I, do this daily, and it's something that I plan to do during my cleanse, is just to do that more, to sit down, meditate, and communicate with all parts of myself, with all parts of the energy that surrounds me, because that is a part of your resetting and refocusing for the new year, right? The other thing I did is went back to work today. Most people would have probably just taken off, considering I've been off for 2 weeks, just taken off this week as well and gone into the new year fresh with the surgery. But I needed to come back, because for me, going into the new year, part of it for me also is having my work set. I know no one's at work right now, so I can get work done peacefully. So let me get in the office, y'all, on my computer and take care of my work. So I was fortunate enough to be able to get on, and I looked and I was like, man, all this hard work and stress I've been going through this year, like, it's paying off, because I saw my targets went up, and I was like, yes. Y'all know targets are real important for me. That's all I'm gonna say. And so I was excited, y'all, and I just started game planning in my head, like I could do this and this and this to hit the rest of these numbers, because I know that I'm capable of doing this. I know that my customers deserve great products. I know that my customers deserve to understand their products and be able to utilize everything that they paid for. And so, just thinking through those things, like, how do I want to make myself a rock star in my career this year? Like, thinking through that, I sit down every year, I write out a list. I stopped doing budget lists, like, oh, and this, I want to make this much money. I stopped doing that because I was hitting those so fast and it just wasn't value added for me. So I started making purposeful lists, like, what do I want for my birthday? Since my birthday is in the beginning of the year, let me make my wish list for my birthday. And while nobody else may not buy anything off of it or support it or whatever, I know I can do it. Like, I want to go on an amazing date, take myself on a date. My partner's always in North Carolina. Yeah, that's him. So, that I know I want to have a facial and a body massage minus my leg and foot. I know certain things that I want to do for myself. And so, with that said, I made this list, and those are things that I know to focus in on, so that I'm not miserable going into the new year, spending my birthday alone, because birthdays matter to me, y'all, by the way. Um, like, it's the one day of the year that you get to celebrate just you and be important. And so, yeah, life is hard, and the fact that you make it through another year to another birthday, especially given the pandemics and the high suicide rates and different things that have happened this year and last year, like, birthdays matter. So with that said, that's one part of it, right? And then the next part, for me is just, where was I at? Talking about my, sorry, I get a little focus. Oh yeah, list. So focusing on what I want to see in my partner this year, and I share with them, like, these are things that I want in my partner in 2022. Now, if it's you, great. If it's not, it'd be sad and hurtful, but that's what I want. Um, and not just that, like, things I want in my life in 2022, like things like that. Just take your time out and think about it and process through, what is it that I want? What is it that I need? What is it that I'm going to do to make things happen? So, just making those lists and thinking about that, and giving yourself focus is important in going into 2022. And so I encourage you all to sit down, think about these tips that I'm giving out, and make a plan for yourself to reset, refocus, and recenter yourself and your energies. And that is all that I have. Of course, as you all know, I always tell you to be a positive impact on the world, keep positive energy around you, be a positive impact to those that are around you, be compassionate, be empathetic towards others, and just expand your knowledge, because knowledge is so important right now. Because you can't empathize with someone if you don't understand what they're going through. So just try to be passionate about what you love, be empathetic towards others, be impactful upon this world, because this world has given us so much. This world has been around for so long that we have to start taking better care of it. When it's 67 degrees in December in DC area, yeah, 70 degrees, yeah, that's not normal. But I just say, just take care of the little piece of the earth that you have, and just try to do right by others, okay? That's all I got for y'all until 2022, because I don't think I'll be doing another video this year. Maybe I will, but I doubt I will. So I just wanted to give, actually I will do one more video, but just in case I don't get to it, y'all, have a good new year. I love y'all. Take care.